What's up, everybody? Dark 1985. There's levels to this. I am sick and tired of seeing Game Pass as being used as a scapegoat. Okay, this video I hope is quick, but I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant. Okay, Game Pass is not the problem. Everyone out there that thinks that Game Pass is the problem, stick around and let me explain to you how Game Pass right now is not the problem for what's happening with Xbox. But before I go into that, I'm going to say one thing, okay? If you don't like Game Pass, but you use Game Pass, if you think Game Pass is the problem, but you use Game Pass, you, my friend, are an idiot. I don't care if you don't pay for Xbox. I don't care if you got Game Pass from a Pop-Tart box. I don't care if you're sharing Game Pass with somebody else. If you don't like Game Pass and you think that Game Pass is the problem, right? And you download games off of Game Pass, you, my friend, are stupid. There's no other way around it. Now, if the shoe fits and you're feeling offended right now, wear it. But you see, that's the problem. The problem is that we get offended so easily when everything can be proven. Sometimes we're just stupid. And that's okay. That's okay. I've been stupid plenty of times in my life. I'll give you an example, okay? I know that I should be sleeping at least 8 hours a day. At least if I really wanted to maximize what I do in the gym, my mental health, my skin, my overall well-being, I should be sleeping 8 hours a day. I know this. I know this. There's no doubt in my mind. Yet I sleep maybe 5 to 6 hours a day. That's called being stupid. Okay? I'll give you another example. I know I should be drinking probably about a gallon of water a day. Probably around a gallon. Sometimes, though, I can go a whole day where the only thing I'm drinking is energy drinks and diet soda. Stupid. I know that this is not good for me. I know that there's no nutritional value in Diet Coke. However, stupid. So, I do that so that you don't get your little feelings hurt. I just called myself stupid, so now I'm gonna call you stupid for using Game Pass when you believe that Game Pass is the problem. Now, for all of you that do believe Game Pass is a problem, but you don't use it, you're perfectly fine. But let me explain to you why you're wrong, right? Games on Game Pass is not the reason why games are not hitting the mark, because there's plenty of games that haven't been released on Game Pass that haven't hit the mark, and there's plenty of games that have came out on Game Pass day and date that have hit the mark, okay? A Plague Tale Requiem is one that comes off the top of my head. Hi-Fi Rush hit the mark. High on Life hit the mark, okay? So the real problem is not Game Pass. The real problem is that Xbox does not care about the console gamer. That is the real problem. I'll be even more specific. Xbox does not care about the Series X gamer. They care more about the Series S gamer. That is the problem, okay? So if you want to use the excuse that the Series S is what's holding back gaming right now that has a little bit more validity than the Game Pass issue. Because when you say that games that come to Game Pass means that they don't have to do great things, this is why you're wrong. What are the majority of games that are on Game Pass right now? The majority of games that are on Game Pass right now are old games, right? Which means they were made without Game Pass in mind, you idiot. They weren't made with Game Pass in mind. Now, as the future progresses, then we can see what happens. Do you believe that Redfall was made with Game Pass in mind? Do you believe that they started developing Redfall? You know it wasn't, because Redfall was going to come out for the PS5, you idiot. Stop being stupid. It is not a Game Pass problem. You want to get rid of subscription services because you are afraid of something that hasn't happened yet. Let it play out. Because it will play out and we will see. Here's another thing that people don't understand, okay? When games come to a subscription service, I love seeing this statistic. People say, oh, when a game drops on a subscription service, look how many people beat the first boss, look how many people got to this far, whatever, blah, blah. Do you know what that means? That means that if you're going to put your game on Game Pass and I'm paid $15, your game better be good. Because if your game is not good, I'll just play something else. There's a direct level of competition right then and there. Do you know why Hi-Fi Rush got so many playthrough? Because the word of mouth spread like this. It spread quickly. Do you know why Vampire Survivor got so much playthrough? Because the word of mouth spread fast. It spread extremely quickly. I don't know how you understand that. Stop lying. Stop lying to yourself. And if you're a content creator, stop lying to your people, making them be afraid of Game Pass. No. And then they use, well, why does Redfall run on 30 frames per second on Xbox Series X? Because the Xbox Series X is trash. Microsoft is treating it like trash. If you have a powerful PC, you're not even worried about that. Remember, Game Pass is also on PC. Stupid. Again, before you feel offended, I call myself stupid first for a whole bunch of different things, okay? You could be willingly stupid. And that's what you are right now. That's what you are right now. The Game Pass effect. If I hear somebody else mention the Game Pass effect without showing me the game, that there's a problem with Game Pass effect. And if you try, and here we go, stupid. If you try to bring Halo Infinite into it, the problem with Halo Infinite is the free-to-play multiplayer. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, talk to me. Yes or no? The campaign was perfectly fine. Oh, it was missing co-op. Was it missing co-op because of Game Pass? That's what you think? You think it was missing co-op because of Game Pass? Oh, right, because 343 has been doing such a great job with Halo before then. You're lying. You haven't liked Halo since Halo 3. You see how disingenuous and stupid you are? Stop blaming Game Pass. Once you have games that are made after this generation, right? Or for this generation, new games that are coming out, whatever, that are going to come to Game Pass and are been developed for Game Pass, whatever, then you can say that. Until then, the majority of games on Game Pass are old games. And the majority of day-and-date games that have dropped on Game Pass weren't developed with Game Pass in mind. And those that might have been developed with Game Pass in mind, like those indie games, have been able to flourish because of Game Pass. So you have literally no game that you can point to. Again, the problem is the Xbox console. Specifically, the powerful Series X that Microsoft, for whatever reason, does not want to use. That is the problem. Dark1985. There's levels to this. Stop being stupid. We out. Peace.